Hello and thanks for joining me. This is Canine playing some Conan Exiles for you, and we are at the starting point, or very near the starting point. Um, Wanted to actually show you how to get into the game and survive without dying. Um, However, I chose to load up a female character, and I don't want to sound like a prude or anything, but she shows up nude, and I wanted to keep it a family show. Plus the fact that I had a neighbor come to my door and knock on the door, and she ended up dying. So at this point in time, I'll show you what you need to do to make sure that you have that you got a fighting chance here um, of not dying. And I'm just going to take these things off and put them in my inventory. I'll show you the steps you need to go through. When you spawn in, let me see. I believe back this way beyond this creature. And what you need to do is you need to head towards these mountains. So as you're running towards these mountains, you'll pass things like bushes like this, and this is all in pitch black darkness. You can barely see the moonlight bouncing off things. And what you have to remember is that your W key goes forward, but your E key harvests things in front of you. And what you're looking to do is you're looking to pick up bushes and things like that. And notice in the lower right hand corner of the screen, you've got plant fibers and seeds that you're picking up. Those become very, very important to you, because what you can do with that is actually make yourself a little bit of clothing, which will give you a little bit of defense. Okay, now I've already got like level 2 or level 3 on this character, but you start back there in the middle of nowhere, and the only thing you can see is the moonlight bouncing off these tiles a little bit. So you're down in there, and you make your way up here and running past these things in the dark, and you can't always see these, but you want to pick up the branches and pick up the stones. So you move forward, hitting your E key, and right now I could see them, but you're wandering around in the dark, you can't necessarily see them very well. So you want to basically pick up everything that you can in front of you, and hopefully you end up with 5 branches. Let me show you what you can make with that. The first thing you want to make is come over here. You want to make yourself a torch with 5 branches and 10 plant fibers, and then you get this thing, and you put that in your hotbar and you hit whatever number that's on, and all of a sudden you're not wandering around in the dark anymore. So that's the first thing you want to try and do before you get anything else done, is so that you're more effective. I'm going to just hit 6 and put that away. And the next thing you want to do is you want to put together a weapon. And you don't have the stone hatchet yet. That is from your first set of skill upgrades and the recipes that you learn, but you end up with a stone pick that you can make. And the stone pick is 5 stones and 5 branches. So when you've got 5 stones and 5 branches, and the stones are small enough you can just pick them up like this. Some of them you can pick up, and if you can pick up the branches, if you can see them once you got the torch out, now you can actually put together, select this, and if you've got enough branches and enough stones, you can hit craft and you end up with a stone pick, which is how I got to there. At that point, you're wandering around naked in the dark. You've now got light, you've got a means of defense, and when you find some more plants, and notice in my upper left hand corner I'm starting to get low on water again because I'm talking to you rather than running. So what you want to do is you want to start moving towards this oasis as quickly as you possibly can, because what you don't want to do is run out of water and dehydrate and die. And that's what we're trying to avoid here, is we're trying to avoid getting you into a situation where you're going to die. So I'm trying to give you the information that you need most so that you end up with a fighting chance of staying alive. Because it's a bummer getting back there like I just did, with my neighbor coming to the door, and he says, hey, I need your help with something, and okay. Just end up dying because you got something going on. So basically want to get in here and see if you can get to some water, which isn't too far. Notice Okay, but what you're going to find is you're running into creatures, and you might actually have to run for your life now and then, and doing that in the dark, with nothing but a torch and a pick, if you've managed to find the materials. And that's something you want to avoid. That right there, that is a crocodile, and you are in no way able to actually compete with him at the moment. So you want to hit your W key and your shift key to sprint, and you got people chasing you too. So we're going to just run down the beach and try and get away from these folks so we don't have to defend ourselves. W and shift, and watch that lightning indicator over in the left hand corner. That is your stamina. And you should be able to actually outrun them so they stop chasing you. If we run far enough down the beach, though, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to find another alligator, and then we're going to be in serious doo-doo. And these guys are just being, there we go. They were being persistent. Okay, now that there's only one of you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit him. I'm going to keep moving around him because the AI, honest to God, is not very smart in this game. And I'm just going to stay behind him so he can't hit me. I'm just going to pick him to death. Gruesome game. Definitely probably not for kids. But I'm starting to get thirsty, so I'm going to go in here in the water up to about my neck, and I'm going to hit my E key. And you can't fill a water canteen, a water skin. You can't fill that either until you're up to your neck, which bummed me out a little bit. The bugs you can eat, you notice I'm getting hungry over here. You can go over here and highlight your bugs and hit use, and your food content will go up. If you find something like that big grub over there, that big, this you do not want to eat. The putrid meat, you'll get food poisoning. Drop that. But the big grub, that big bug, although it seems kind of gross, it will keep you alive if you find those crawling around in the grass. So now you've got food, you've got water. Life is a whole lot less pressing right now. And you've got 88 plant fibers, which means you can make yourself some shoes. So you want to come over here and click on the foot wraps and craft those, and you'll automatically put them on. Come over to the hand wraps, gloves, and craft those, and you'll automatically put them on. Come over here and craft a fiber bedroll. You'll need that in a bit, but chances are you'll probably need the twine more. So if you've been picking up enough plant fiber over here, and they're 3 each, so it'll take you 30 to make 10 of those, craft a bunch of those. You'll need those for some things. And it's starting to get dark. So one of the other things you're going to need is a fire. And I don't think you're quite ready for that yet. I don't think you have the level for that yet. But what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to this island. And hopefully it's a little more peaceful over there. And we can kind of get started. Remember, we've got fire, we've got light, we've got a pick, means to defend ourselves. A little bit of armor. I know, by the way, when these things get damaged, and I don't want to take the pants and the shirt off, being this being a female character, you simply click on these things and you go repair. And although it doesn't update here in the screen, it did repair. And if I were to take it off and put it in my inventory and put it back, you'd see it was repaired. But I'll do that later so as not to embarrass anybody. But here's one of the things you want to do. I'm currently level 3, and I leveled up. So you want to go in here and level up. You can change your abilities here. One of the things you want to do is you want to put at least 1 point into strength because you can hit things harder, and then put a point into vitality, which raises your hit points, size of your health pool. Okay. You also want to change your encumbrance, which is how much you can carry. Those are the 3 big ones when you're just getting started. How much you can defend yourself, how many hit points you've got, and how much you can carry. And then you want to go to learn recipes, and you want to pick up. The first thing you're going to pick up was this deal, Survivalist, which gives you the stone pick and the improvised torch. That's the first thing you want to pick up, and you get level 2 pretty quick. The second thing you want to pick up is the Survivalist here, which gives you a campfire and a means to carry water with you. Okay? And that is a cost of 1, and you need to be level 3 to actually have it. So you want to unlock that thing, and then go into your recipes, which is an inventory, and look how dark it got now quick. Which, by the way, if you're running your own server, you have control over. See what you need for a campfire, and you need 40 of those branches and 30 stones. And you got the stones down, so fire up your torch here, 6, and pick up 10 more branches. Actually, they come 2 at a time, so pick up 5 more branches. And I would keep picking them up because you can use the rest as firewood. Okay, and you could use your pick to get yourself some wood to burn in the fire. Anything you hit the trees with, weapons, picks, stone hatchets, they all work. So you want to come over here to your recipe or campfire, hit craft. Once you've got 40 branches and 30 stones, which you just did, you had 50 or so, plus some wood to put in the fire. And when that's done, it's going to show up in your bar, in your hot bar, if you have a blank hot bar. And then you can throw that bad boy down on the ground, if you can find a level spot where it'll take it. Gets a little ticky about that. Come on. There we go. Do we have to be all the way down here at the shore? I guess we do. Okay, so now that we actually have the fire here, we can put some wood in it, or we can put some branches in it, but the branches are a little bit more usable than the wood early on. So put the wood in there and then turn it on, and it'll burn wood for a while. And now we have a light source, a heat source, a place to cook stuff. So I'm going to, you don't really sleep in this game, per se. I'm going to go around, pick up some more branches, make a couple things. But now, once you have a campfire, here's another grub. Oh, look at that. You got another meal. You can come over here, beat on a tree a little bit more, get yourself some more wood, throw it on the fire, so you're sure to have some light, etc., etc. And it's easier if you've got a fire, if something attacks you. It's easier to actually have some light to know what's going on. Throw some more wood in there and you're alright. And here's one of the things you can do, you can cook, is you can throw the seeds in the fire along with some of your plant fiber. And what it'll do is it'll make you a meal kind of like oatmeal with the grain and the plant stuff. It'll make something called gruel, which is a lot like oatmeal. Now, I don't know why you can't cook the insects, you can't cook the fat grubs, but you can cook plant fiber and the seeds that you get, both of which you gathered off the plants. You can do that. Save your torch, because it takes materials to actually do that, and the sun's starting to come up. And you've got the means basically to get started. And you now have a campfire and a torch to carry with you for light, and a pick to defend yourself, and that's really how you get started in this game. It's no more difficult than that. You just want to make sure you stay alive. If you can stay alive for the first couple of minutes, you're all right. So that's basically what you want to do the first couple of turns in the game. And one of the next thing you want to, let me show you this. One of the next things you want to do is you go around and gather from the plants, pick up some more seeds, pick up some more plant fiber, make yourself some gruel on the fire, throw the wood on the fire. Keep doing that, and it'll give you enough experience that you'll get to the next level. And in the next level, what you want to start doing is you want to start picking up apprentice stonemason, so you can build yourself a place to live. Okay? Even before that, you might want to pick up let's see, apprentice craftsman here is a cost of 1 point, and the box is a cost of 2 points. That might be a little expensive early on, but the stonemason is 1 point, and it gives you the ability to pick up all these recipes whereby you can build walls with windows in it, solid walls, a staircase, a pillar, all the things you need to actually build yourself a domicile. So you might want to pick up the stonemason first and then pick up the box so that you have a place to put an excess of things, because you can't put it all on you. If you get too heavy, you won't be able to move around. And there's nowhere else to put it. If you throw it on the ground and leave it in the bags, it'll eventually just disappear. So that's basically what you want to do to get yourself started, keep yourself alive. And notice we didn't die from the time we started the video. We didn't run into anything too nasty that we couldn't outsmart or outgun. We didn't run into a crocodile that we couldn't get away from. We didn't run into any of the larger monsters that we're not ready to compete with. So we kind of got lucky. I'm going to interject this into the middle of the video somewhere. Once again, this is my beginning character, and I wanted to show you something that I didn't show you before. To fix anything, notice my torch has actually taken some damage there under my hotkey. Its bar is about halfway down. Well, my torch is fueled by plant fiber. So what I want to do is click on my torch. It highlights some options over here underneath my inventory area. Click on my torch and hit repair. And as long as I've got, notice this is plant fiber minus, I think it was at 5. It takes whatever its basic ingredient is and improves it. I was when I first got started, I was making new ones all the time, because I didn't actually see that button. And like I said, I make these videos so that you can do better than me, which isn't hard in the first place. But so that you have a better chance to have a good time doing this. And my stone pick, its basic ingredients is stone. So as long as I've got stone, I can click on my stone pick, activate, choose that, go to repair, and it consumes some stone, 4 stone, and it recharges my pick, so I don't have to make a new one. Okay, this stuff, twine, I know I showed you that, is made from plant fiber. This stuff becomes pretty important. It's what holds your tools together. So when you're making some better tools, or you're making a box to store things in, you're going to need that. But here's something that you want also to do is go around, pick up the branches. And I saw a source of food around here, and it wasn't a grub. It was actually a better meal than that, and I want to show it to you, because if you're not paying attention, you can miss it. If I can find them, might have to cut all this brush down to find them. Oh, look, there's another grub. Aren't you lucky? He was hiding under that bush. I don't know if you saw him or not. We got lots of plant fiber. I know there was another food source. I saw him. There he is, over there in the surf. Can you see him? These things are pretty popular. And they don't run from you too much. But you can knock the rabbit, and then you can hit him with the pick, and what you get is you get this stuff called feral flesh. And you don't want to eat that. What you want to do is you want to bring that back to your fire, which is on the other side of this huge tree. And notice we had put some seeds and some plant fiber in here. Seeds and plant fiber. And what they make is this stuff called gruel, and you can eat that as a mainstay, especially if you're a vegan. You can eat the bugs, handful of insects. You click on it, and without being in this inventory, but you want to just, with this thing on, with the fire on, with fuel in it, wood in it, and with the fire on, you just throw your feral flesh in there, and it'll cook up for you. But the way you eat is you keep an eye on these indicators, and I'm getting low on food. You can click on the insects and choose use. That'll keep you fed. You can click on the gruel you made with plant fiber and seeds that you got from the plants. Okay, cook that in the fire, it becomes gruel. You can click on use. And remember the recipe for gruel, because it comes in handy later when you're trying to create slaves to run your place. You can pick up a fat grub, which has a lot more food value to it. Okay, or you can find some sort of prey get some feral flesh, throw it in a fire, it becomes shredded roast, and that, when you put it in your inventory and you actually eat it, over here, click on it, choose use, gives you a lot of upgrade. Okay, so you do want to do a little hunting when you get to the point where you're able to beat some stuff up without killing yourself, and wander into the surf about up to your chest and hit your E key, and you'll get a drink. And then once you've got the survivalist recipes, which is the campfire and the water skin, you'll need 20 hides, which we got from beating up one of those bad guys. Not the human, the other little dudes, the little gray dudes, little frumple-rumplins that chase you around. But they drop hides, and when you've got 20 hides and 10 twine, did we make twine? I think we used it. We may have used it. So we need to hit our twine, craft 10 twine again, and when we got 10 twine and 20 hides, we can make ourselves a water skin. I should have told you this earlier, and I forgot. This is the basic stuff, and I'll find a place to actually stick it in the video. So once we got that 2020, one of the other cool things in this game is I don't have to be standing here while I'm doing this. I could actually have this go, make me 5 more twine, and just craft, and program them in there and go do something else and come back to my inventory later and it's done. So I'll say, make me a water skin. I've got the 20 hides. I've got 10. Here they are. I was looking for them in my inventory, couldn't find them. They go directly into your hotbar if you don't have anything else in your hotbar. So this is actually a container in addition to all these squares. So make me a water skin. 20 hides. Craft that. Come back later, it'll be in there. Go do something else, like pick up some firewood. See, you got a sealed water skin in your inventory now. So what you want to do is, it's on your hotbar. I usually keep it right up here under my food. Okay, so here's my water skin, and it doesn't have anything in it. This is its update area. What I want to do is I want to wander into the surf, wander into the water, about up to my chest. Select it, and then choose use, and it'll fill up. Now I can take water with me, and if I get thirsty, I can click on it, choose use, and it will go down a level and add some water. But if you can get those things done, you can stay alive and have a good time building and surviving. So that's how to get started here in Conan Exiles, and I will bid you farewell and tell you to have a good time in game. K9 out.